Hey everybody, today I will be tying a drunk and disorderly streamer, and this fly's name comes from its erratic movements in the water because of its deer wedge-shaped head. And as you can see, this pattern likes to do that wounded baitfish flop that big predatory fish can't resist. I'm starting off here with some white UTC 70 thread, and I'm going to lay down a little bit of a thread base back to the end of that hook. Both hooks in this video are Togens salmon steelhead hooks in size 2/0. For the tail, I'm going to come in here with some white crystal flash fibers. Going to tie them in there at the end of the hook. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to trim it off in a sort of upward shape, angling the scissors up like that. And then trim the front. You can follow any color scheme you'd like, but I'm using some MFC Arizona dubbing in color red that I got from Togens Fly Shop. I'm going to start by creating a dubbing loop of it and wrapping that up the body. Then once I tie that off, I'm just going to come in here and make a loop of that dubbing right over the hook. I'm going to tie it forward and then pull a little more dubbing back and just kind of cover up the body of that hook a little more. Next, I'm going to tie in Togens white zonker strip right in front of that dubbing. Once secured, I'm going to palmer that rabbit zonker strip up to right behind the hook eye. You can go ahead and snip that free, and then I'm going to tie in a mallard flank feather, and I'm going to tie this in on the top, kind of covering the sides, and I push the sides down a little bit and make a little bit of a bowl shape. And then I'm going to snip that free, and now I am going to tie in some red flash, one on each side of the hook. I tie the first one in, then bring it up a little bit so I can bend that second one back, and then I trim both to length. Go ahead and throw a couple whip finishes in there and give it a nice UV finish. Pop that one out of the vise, throw on another same size 2/0 hook, and wrap that thread base to the back again. Then you're going to tie in some intruder wire just on one side of the hook for now. You can use any kind of beads you'd like, but I'm using 2 red trout beads, and I'm going to slide them on that piece of wire, and then I'm going to take the fly I just made, loop that through onto that wire, and then up back through the beads, and then I'm going to pull the whole thing tight, but not too tight, and then I'm going to tie it down with my thread. Just get a ton of thread reps down on these pieces of wire here, and then I'm going to take a bit of super glue and throw it on top, and then do another couple wraps down. tie in your zonker strip again, and then palm her up in the same fashion as we did before. Similar to last time, I want you to take some of that dubbing, make another loop of it on the hook, and then tie it back just as we did before. And I'm going to do that twice here to kind of stack up this red underbody. And then right on top of that, I'm going to tie in some crystal flash fibers in a longer and skinnier bundle than previously. Finally, I'm going to take 2 mallard flank feathers and tie them to each side of this fly. And I'm going to pin them on the sides and then tie them in. Again, take that strip of red tinsel, tie it on one side, tie it forward, and then pull it back, and then you can trim both sides to length. For this next bit, I'd advise taking a clip and kind of pulling those fibers back so you can get this white deer hair spun correctly on the head of this fly. Remember to take 2 loose wraps around the bundle and then make a third one to bring that final spin around the hook. Once you work your thread through the bundle of deer hair to the front, I take a mechanical pencil and I push the fibers back. But you can use anything, you could use your fingers, and you can just push that bundle back and stack that deer hair nice and neat. I want you to repeat this process using clumps of deer hair and working your way up to the front of the hook. I find it difficult to whip finish on this fly, so I take a nail knot tool and I slide a couple right over the top. This pattern calls for a very angled cut into the deer hair as pictured there, and you kind of make a wedge shape. Throw some eyes on the sides and cover that all in UV resin, and then you're good to go. That is the drunk and disorderly streamer. Thank you guys for watching.